everybody, today we're going to be making some copper hoop earrings, and they will look something similar to this. And what you will need is some wire tools and some basic beading tools, 18 gauge artistic wire copper. This is raw copper that's dead soft and round. It's very pliable. And I'm using a round mandrel. It's a purple plastic one from the Artistic Wire brand kit. And the mandrel is a great kit. It has different shapes like squares, oval, round, triangle. Today we're going to be using the round one. And you want to start out with about 6 inches of wire and take your pliers and smooth it out. And it's better to have extra wire than not enough in case you need it for today's project. So you want to cut 2 pieces of wire. I might be cutting too much, but anytime you're wire wrapping, it's nice to have a little bit extra. And I'm going to put this off to the side. And I'm going to grab my mandrel, and I'm using the bottom so I have the extra hoop size. It's about 1.5 inches around. And you want to put your copper wire all the way around and have it meet in the center and even crisscross it a little bit to pull it nice and tight around the mandrel. That way you have a nice round shape of a hoop. Next, I'm grabbing my chain nose pliers, and this is going to be the stem I'm putting my stone on. And I'm going to straighten it very firm so it's nice and tall and straight at the top of the hoop with my chain nose pliers. And then I'm going to take the stem and I'm going to wire wrap around the base of the hoop I'm forming. And you can use tools or use your hands to make it nice and tight. And you want to have a loop around the base of your stem. So I'm using my chain nose pliers to form the loops with my wire and to curve it around. That way I have a nice and tight loop pattern, and it's side by side. I'm going to go around 3 times, and I'm going to cut off excess wire. And then take my chain nose pliers and pinch the remaining wire nice and tight and closed, and slide it off the mandrel. I keep it on the mandrel so it helps it hold its shape as I'm wire wrapping, and it has a nice loop form. So you want to grab your next wire and make a second one. So again, we're going to go around the bottom circle for this one, fold your wire around, and you want to tighten it nice and tight over the mandrel and kind of hold it in place with your hand. And then you want to take your chain nose pliers and bend in the center of the wire and make a nice straight stem. Then take your second wire and just loop it around the base of the hoop and curve it in nice and tight with your chain nose pliers. Just like that. I have my 2 hoops completed, and next I'm going to grab a bead and slide it on the top. And next we're going to wire wrap the top of the bead closed and form a few loops on the top. And we're going to wire wrap a couple times over the top. And wire wrap over the second one. And this is why you want to have extra wire. So that way as you're wire wrapping the different sections, you have extra wire to close with that you can trim off. And we're finished. Now, some fun things you can do is take a hammer and hammer the hoop to give it a little bit more of a texture and flatten detail. The other thing you can do, I've done with this style, is wire wrapped crystals all the way around in either a bloom pattern, or you can go around with your wire to add extra detail to your hoops. You can also dunk these in patina to antique the metal so they have a darker color. So there's lots of versatility that you can do with these hoops. To finish these earrings, I'm going to grab some 2mm Chinese turquoise or jasper turquoise or green turquoise. It depends on where you shop. It has a different name. And grab our hoops, which is also the same stone at the top. And I'm going to take some 24 gauge wire, and I'm going to start wire wrapping around the hoop. And I go around 3 times to get it established on the hoop. Put it on there and grab my chain nose pliers and pinch the loops together. And then I cut off my excess wire and trim it. So I have my 3 coils started on my hoop, and I've went and put 3 beads on, and now I'm going back around the hoop again with 3 more wraps and grab 3 more stones. And I'm going to do this pattern all the way around my hoop. And this is such a fun, versatile idea. You can add check glass beads. You can do seed beads. In my case, I'm doing small beads. I think these are 2mm or 3mm, and they're very versatile depending on how you want to dress up for your fashion or the type of jewelry you're wanting to make that day. And so now I'm going to go back around the hoop again 3 more times. And what's nice too about wire wrapping around the hoop is the extra wire helps reinforce the strength of the hoop as you're going around. It makes it a little bit stronger. So I'm going to continue this around with this pattern. I'm adding the last 3 beads on this hoop, and you might sometimes need a little bit of room to close. So you can just kind of push your wire back and it'll scrunch everything together and get it really close to the same starting point as the other side so they balance each other out. And I'm going to go around 3 more times, cut off my excess wire, and pinch close. And I do have a little bit of extra wire left over, but that's okay. I'll use it for another project. And sometimes you have to get in here with your chain nose pliers. It's a little tight, and bring the excess wire around and pinch it closed on the hoop. And there you go. You've now finished an earring. It's a fun and easy project. So now I'm going to start on the second one. I've now finished both hoops, and if you prefer an antique copper color, you can add liver of sulfur to these, which will darken the metal. Or if you prefer to have a nice raw shiny copper look, then you're done and you can add 2 ear wires and you've made some cute hoop earrings. Thanks for joining me today. I really appreciate it. You can find me on Instagram, where I post tutorials every week, Facebook, Pinterest, and TikTok. Thanks for joining me.